Hey.
Can you handle it? Are you brave enough? Can you face the challenge? Are you tough enough?
You guys know
Are you ready to join the team? We're keeping our world clean. Let's all work together. Come join us. We're rocking it out.
Welcome to another episode of Roughing It Out. Today we are visiting the False Bay Ecology Park, a reserve located in the heart of an urban area near Cape Town.
And today, the Rough Kids get up close and personal with an amazing animal species that has been reintroduced in this reserve. But before we tell you more about that, let's take a look at what they did last week.
Last week on Roughing It Out.
We had to feed the cows, the goats, and the sheep, and also the guinea pigs.
He's a little bit afraid.
eyona ndawo laa ihlekisayo for him now was laa ndawo iimuse leza zinto ezilumayo.
The Rough Kids showed that they could certainly handle farm life, but in the end, there could only be one winner.
Stage 4 went to Wildcat.
We were pretty happy that we had won because I think our team worked really well.
So after 11 weeks, it's the Wildcats who lead on 75 points, while the Sea Warriors trail on 43. Whose game will it be today?
False Bay Ecology Park is 1,200 hectares in size and includes Rondaflay and Zeekoevlei nature reserves. The Rondaflay Reserve has both a permanent wetland to the north and seasonal wetlands in the south. Roughly 280 species of indigenous plants grow here, offering a favorable habitat and foraging ground for several bird and mammal species.
Teams, we have reached a critical stage in the game, and since this is the last challenge before the final, Sea Warriors, Wildcats, you guys really need to bring it.
Over the past weeks, you guys learned about marine creatures, birds, reptiles, and even farm animals. In today's challenges, you guys will learn about a creature that's often underrated but is very important for the ecosystem, and that is the eland.
So when I heard we were doing challenges with eland, I was very excited because I didn't know what the eland was, and I knew it was going to be a big book, but I didn't know how to look.
Petro will be our rough guide for today. She heads up the Ganto project. She will tell you more about this project as well as today's challenges.
Welcome here to the Ganto project, bringing eland back to the Cape Flats. Now you're standing on a vegetation type called the Cape Flats dune strandveld. It's an endangered vegetation type that needs the help of eland to conserve it. Eland hasn't been here for so many years and there's been no browsing pressures, so we brought eland back to help control one of the major threats here, bush encroachment. The eland is staying in a boma for safety reasons at night and also to keep them tame. And the first challenge for you would be to clean the eland boma.
Thank you, Pietru. Rough Kids, you will each be assigned to a boma to clean. Are you guys ready?
Yes! Let's head off to the bomas. For stage 1, the Sea Warriors will need to clean the boma and refresh the water for the eland.
Looks like the Sea Warriors have decided to share the tasks, with the boys on cleanup and the girls on water duty.
Stage 1 challenge yokuqala was thina bayiteam yethu sibophi iibhomas and abanye bathatha amanzi bahlamba ibhakethi bathatha amanzi afresh and uklina ibhedi yayo ugcola istraws nokuthatha ituwa from poison.
So Tiffany is getting the fresh water.
Yeah, because it's taken a long time to fill and we didn't want to just be wasting time by just both standing there.
Okay, cool.
So thina amantombazana ulendusa uTiffany noGeorgia bebathatha ibhakethi bayoloda amanzi bayiklina while nanolandusa akills besibutha ezi straws as much as we can.
After 4 minutes, they have 1 bucket and 2 more on the way.
It feels like cleaning cat popo, just doesn't stink. So we are
to help pick up the poop. So because there were only 2 sieve things, we took turns of some of us had to use our hands and some of us got to use the sieves. But it wasn't like, I was scared it was going to be gross, but it really wasn't because most of them were hard and dry and it's just grass. Like the lady said that it's not like human poo or anything.
You got fresh water.
Yes.
Now you're almost done with the hay.
Ikea looks like he's on top of things and he's already got 1 bucket filled.
Sea Warriors, you have 7 minutes left to fill those buckets. Come on, fill the buckets.
So that's number 3.
Yes,
Bucket number 3.
It was taking too long to use the scoop, and then Tiffany and Lebo and Jojo were using their hands to pick it up. And I'm like, even though they just eat grass, I'm still not going to pick it up. Bucket number 4.
The Sea Warriors are on their 5th bucket.
The Sea Warriors are working really hard, with everyone getting involved in the poop collection.
That's the 6th bucket from the Sea Warriors.
One more. Yes. Now.
That's good.
Bucket number 8.
10 seconds left.
Bucket number 8.
Bucket number 8. Your time is almost up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, Sea Warriors. Well done, Sea Warriors. The Sea Warriors have managed to fill 8 buckets in 15 minutes. And now we're off to the next stage.
Before the break, the Rough Kids completed stage 1.
Bucket number 8.
10 seconds left.
Bucket number 8.
Bucket number 8. All right, Pietro. So please show me how the Sea Warriors did.
They did very well. They nearly scooped up a whole bucket of eland feces. Looking around, they cleaned the bedding area very nicely. They got fresh water. Quite impressed. I think they did very well in 15 minutes. Rough Kids, welcome to stage 1. For today you'll be cleaning this boma. You'll need to wash the water bowl, take it outside, get some fresh water, bring it back in. Then the bedding needs to be changed, so that can be picked up and put into a black pack. So you'll be cleaning up the feces using a scoop into a smaller bucket, and then we'll be counting as you empty it into a big bucket.
Okay, Wildcats, you have 15 minutes. Your time starts now.
For stage 1, the Wildcats will also need to clean the boma and refresh the water for the eland.
Counting.
Just that we can see which
we had a strategy that we would all split up. So Katie and Eunice went to go fetch the water. Then I was just starting on the cleaning the bedding, and then Ayanda was picking up the poop, but he was scared of picking it up because he didn't want to get his hands dirty. So he was using the scoop, and it was like pulling his face funny because you see the smile.
And Monaco is in the gaga, as a miyama pants, the news is everywhere, everywhere is well.
Yeah. Come on, Ayanda, do it for your team.
It was a bit annoying when Ayanda was going really slowly, getting the feces into the bucket. I was in the main area of the boma cleaning out the feces. I would just go from pile to pile, sieving out the sand and filling buckets. 1.
So that's 1 bucket down for the Wildcats.
I immediately went to Kotha and I started helping raking the straw to make a big heap, and then she would put it in the bags, and then I would sometimes hold the bags. And then after the bed was clean, we helped with the poo, but there was like a lot of poo everywhere, so it was so hard to pick it up with that small scoop. And then I started getting dirty with my hands, and it looked like round circles, like I didn't see that before. And I had to pick it up with my hands. Some were squashed and some were perfectly round, so I was like, what?
We'll see if it's enough.
3rd. 3 buckets in.
Come on, Ayanda, grab more than that.
I've got a bucket. Number 4. I filled 5 buckets of eland feces. I think it was a lot easier for me to fill it because I could choose where I wanted to go and I could go to the big piles of feces, and it was a lot quicker for me because there was a lot more where I was doing.
So 6th one. Thus far, the Wildcats have 6 buckets. They'll need to fill 3 more buckets if they want to beat the Sea Warriors tally. One bucket full. How many is that now?
That's the 7th, I think.
7.
Oh. Number 8.
Okay, well done.
Number 8. Is there enough time to fill another bucket? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, Wildcats. Nice. Excellent work from the Wildcats. They have managed to fill 8 buckets. Okay, Petro, how did the Wildcats do?
They did very well for a first time. They basically collected 2 bags of straw, nearly a full bucket of eland feces, and they changed the water. I think they didn't do too bad.
They did very well. Sounds good to me. Now, rough kids, the vegetation at this reserve is under threat.
And the eland are here to reduce that threat and increase biodiversity. For this challenge, you guys will learn about what the eland likes and what they don't like.
Petru, please can you tell the rough kids what they need to do?
Okay, what we need to do today is determine what browse the eland like. As you can see, there's not a lot of various species here. There's 1 or 2 dominant species, and that's bush encroachment in this area where the small non-dominant species disappearing and you get a few dominant species taking over. We're going to decide, or we're going to see which of the ones that we see the eland go for. So you will have an option of 2 species in your hand. You can, before you offer it to the eland, decide which one you think the eland will have, and then we will be recording to see what the eland actually goes for.
The rough kids will need to choose between 2 plant species that they will feed the eland. The eland will decide the winner.
Okay, Sea Warriors, which plant do you think the eland will like more?
I think it'll like that one.
Okay, so the one that Akil has.
For the challenge, we had to feed the eland. There wasn't really a particular reason why we chose that plant because, like, as we were getting a brief through there with the rough guide Pietro, and then she was telling us like what plants like do they mostly like.
1, 2, 3, go. Hold it out.
He didn't even sniff the other one. He went straight for Akil's plant.
Oh, yeah.
We guessed the right one because the lady had been telling us about that plant before, and also it just looked more yummy. And so I was quite excited because Akil and I went, and I was going to be like so close to the animal and feeding it, but then it just like ignored my plant and went straight to Akil's. I was like, ah.
He is loving it.
When we had to feed the elands, the 2 members who were chosen for our group was me and Kotha. I wanted to go because when I saw them, I was scared and I wanted to get over that. So just get it over and done with, and at the end it worked. I wasn't scared of it.
Okay, Wildcat, which one are you going to choose?
The one behind Eunice's back.
The one behind Eunice's back. Let's see what happens.
When the elands came, they were eating, so Eunice and I was watching what they were eating. Then we found out they liked the sunflowers, but then they didn't give us the sunflowers. But then I also remembered they liked the plant with the long leaves and things like that.
And hold out, but
Hold
at
out
the same time.
at the same time. Hold it out to her. That's a unique one.
And just like that, he chose the right plant, Eunice's plant.
Good guess there.
Well done to the Wildcats. The eland seemed really happy. Let's move to stage 3.
A unique one.
Before the break, the rough kids completed the eland feeding challenge.
1, 2, 3, go. Hold it out.
He didn't even sniff the other one. He went straight for Akil's plant.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most important things in the Khanto project is monitoring the eland and collecting data.
This data forms part of a research study that helps assess how the eland are doing in helping to conserve the area.
Today, you guys are going to be helping Pietro and her team by actively participating in an eland research. She will tell you more about your next challenge.
For the next challenge, you'll be recording, so you'll be writing down a few behaviors, then you can just mark on them every minute if they're eating, if they're fighting, if they're walking. And for that challenge, you can just sit down where you are. I will hand you papers and a pencil and we can start recording. Okay, Rough Kids, are you clear on what you need to do?
Yes.
Good.
All right, Rough Kids, you can sit down. For stage 3, the Rough Kids will need to track the eland and monitor its behaviors. They will be quizzed on their observations.
They are lifting the tail.
Staring. You should include like staring at us. We had to like observe what all different 5 animals were doing on the minute. But it was very confusing because sometimes you couldn't see all the animals on the minute and they were often doing more than just one activity.
It looks like the Sea Warriors are having a difficult time with this monitoring challenge.
I think in that challenge, it was, like I would have enjoyed it, but we were very unorganized, our team, and we were all just shouting things, and I did not really enjoy that one. Because, so some of us would be like, no, this one's eating, no, this one's doing that, and then the minute would have passed and we wouldn't have written anything down.
One I can't find. Walking. But what happens if we have 15 ticks already in one row?
We're going to add it up later.
I think we already had like an advantage because I understood the challenge and our whole team understood the challenge.
Remember, it's on the minute, not whenever they look at us.
Whenever Caitlin gave us like the minute, you had to look up and see what all of the elands were doing at that exact time, and then tick off which ones, how many were doing what, like special behavior.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then we couldn't see one of them.
So it's
44. No.
For the first like 2 minutes, the Sea Warriors had no clue really what they were doing and why.
They'll tell us. We can still tick. No, we're only allowed to take 5 minutes. We got to take on the minute. We can't take during the minute.
La challenge list thathu itim yam ibingavali kakuhle because abanye besinga understand. People were like, we were all arguing ba no guys, let's do this, no, and then uKaitlin besinga mamelanga ba uthi minute and we're like lost ba minute what. Then ngithi miyabibhala ndithi what, like I don't understand.
Okay, the lady said if their heads are down then they're just eating, so just take eating.
There was 5 elands. We had to see what they were all like to do and like how many things, but most of the time they were eating the dot. But ours was wrong because we were really confused. We didn't really know what to do. And we were all like fighting because one person thought they were right, one person thought they were right.
Always walking. I can only see 4. Guys, but they're mainly eating. Walking isn't their main activity.
But they're walking. They're walking. Guys, one is looking.
Oh, it's pooping. Wait, is this on the minute?
No, we don't.
No, it's not on the minute, so you can't use it.
So a leader would have been a very good idea, but we didn't have one. So it was like, it didn't work out without some, because there had to be one person choosing what they're doing. Otherwise, there's so many different opinions. And so I think we should have had a leader, but we definitely didn't.
Long after the minute was called, they were going, oh, that one's looking at a tree or something, but that it wasn't on the dot. So we kind of told them that they should be doing it on the dot, and I guess we explained to them how they should do it. So then from then on, they were doing it correctly.
We were excited because we were observing the eland before when it was coming, so we knew what to write down. And when we were doing the challenge, they said on the minute, so we were ticking.
Eating, and I can see 2 eating. 2 are walking. 2. And then there's note. 1 calm.
And then we can't see the other one.
We're 7 minutes in and the teams are still collecting data. 3 more minutes to go.
But there's one I can't find.
But what happens if we have 15 ticks already in one row?
Fine, we're going to add it up later.
But 4 is walking. 4 walking.
I can only see 4.
Very roughly. I'm coming to see how what you've done. Are you ready with some feedback? Okay, I'll put your side. Are you done? Okay. Ready for some feedback? Yeah. Who's going first to give feedback? Wildcats, you first. Please tell us what you found.
Okay, so we had 49 ticks because during the 9th minute we couldn't see one of the eland, and we had 32 ticks which were feeding, which is 64% of the entire total. We had 6 ticks was walking, which was 12%, and 22% just looking around.
That's very good data you collected. Now let's hear from the sea bodies.
So we got, most of the time they were eating. So we got 31 ticks by eating. Lifting the tail we got 1 tick. Smiling we got 1 tick. And walking we got 3 ticks. Looking at us we got 5 ticks.
That's very, very nice. Thank you for the data you collected. That's very helpful for the project.
Well done to both teams for actively participating in the eland research. Alright, Rough Kids, today has been another day filled with interesting challenges and some cool animal interactions.
And you guys got to participate in an actual research study.
But this is your 12th completed challenge, so we know that you know we have to choose a winner. Pietru, could you please tell the teams how they did?
Sure. For the Boma challenge, you all worked so hard, but it goes to the Sea Warriors. Second challenge, both teams had to guess what plant the eland would prefer. That was a tie. And for the final challenge, collecting eland behavior, that goes to the Wildcats.
It was really nice knowing that we were helping contribute to the study, but I wasn't sure if our data would be useful because, I mean, it might be unreliable. We wouldn't do it the same way that the actual rangers would do it. But it was still cool to know that you were helping.
Congratulations to both teams. You have earned yourselves 5 rough points.
While both teams celebrate their victory ahead of the final, let's take a look at the scoreboard. After a long day in the field, both teams earned themselves 5 rough points for their research and conservation efforts, putting the Wildcats in the lead on 80 points and the Sea Warriors trailing on 48.
Well, it's been another incredible day with the Rough Kids as they have taken on conservation challenges at the False Bay Ecology Park.
But that's how we do it here in Roughing It Out, so tune in next week for some crazy challenges as the Wildcats and the Sea Warriors battle it out in the round 1 final.